So it seems like every single day, something just happens that just completely out-crazies everything else. I don't know, man, it's crazy. But yeah, it's happened again. Believe it or not, it has happened again. We saw something that is just psychotic. People are actually offended. I don't know if you could believe that or not, but yes, in the year 2019, some people actually do get offended over things. And believe it or not, it's actually something that isn't important, really. That's what's crazy about the whole thing. It doesn't really happen very often, but we got one of those rare gems, man, where people are just actually upset over something that doesn't literally matter at all. So I know what you're already thinking, Optimus. What can it be, man? What can it be now? What are people upset about now? Is it Zac Efron being handsome and playing a serial killer who's handsome? Is it because some girl on the internet said there was only 2 genders on Twitch? Is there a legitimate reason for somebody to be offended and upset that actually makes sense and, you know, is, I guess, really a sensical reason to be upset in the first place? Well, you know, the last one, well, pretty much all of those no. I've got something better for you, folks. We are now offended over airplane napkins. I am not kidding, and I know you're already thinking, how is it even possible? But it's possible, and it's reality. In 2019, people are actually upset about airplane napkins. So Delta Airlines, one of the biggest airlines in the world, did a partnership with Coca-Cola, the drink that pretty much everyone on planet Earth is aware of. And this promotion was basically a napkin campaign on their airline. These napkins obviously had Coke's branding on them. They were only on Delta Airlines as far as I know. And these napkins weren't your everyday napkin because it actually said that it basically wants you to try and put your name and your number on it and pass it to somebody on the plane. And people are actually mad about it, man. People actually pretty much complained to the point where both of these companies, okay, it wasn't just one of them, both of these companies, Fortune 500 companies, came out and apologized over fucking napkins. The napkin says, okay, and I quote, because you're on a plane full of interesting people, and hey, you never know. And it's got a spot for you to write your name and your number. You pass it to somebody. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic thing. You don't have to be giving it to somebody that you think's cute. You know, you could just, you know, have had an interesting conversation maybe with the guy next to you. And hey, you want to talk to him a little bit more, maybe you guys do the same thing, same career. Like, honestly, if I were on a plane or something, and I was talking to another YouTuber literally right next to me, that would be something that would make me want to get in contact with that person. Again, I'm like, hey, you can, you know, text me or whatever anytime you need to, things like that. That's a pretty good idea, I think. And it says, be a little old school. Write down your number and give it to your plane crush. You never know. Which, yeah, insinuates maybe you give it to the hot chick or the hot dude or whatever on your plane, but that isn't necessarily the sole purpose of these napkins. Basically, the napkins are there to encourage people to, instead of sit on their goddamn phones the whole time, actually have to go up and interact with another human being, which is just, that's mind-blowing in the year 2019. You can't interact with everyone only through the internet, you know? Wait, hold on. They want you to use something that isn't your phone to talk? You mean I'm supposed to use my mouth and my face and my social skills to communicate with others? What? How dare Coca-Cola? How dare Delta ever try and get me to write my number down and talk to another human being? How dare they try to encourage people to make new friends or maybe even find the love of their life on an airplane? How dare they? But of course, Twitter lit up, there was people offended, people are upset over everything, you know, and of course, the moment that napkins have something on them, there's another reason to be offended. And instead of, you know, just wiping your crybaby-ass tears away with these napkins, or just declining to accept the napkins from people on the airplane, the first thing they had to do, of course, was to bully these companies into apologizing because they're offended and they're upset. Now, trigger warning, okay, I am about to show you some images of these napkins. These pictures are not for the lighthearted. They're not for people who are easy to offend. They're not for people who are upset. If you don't have a stomach of iron, I would just look away from the video right now, but oh god, here they are. Here they are. I don't even want to look. Oh my god. Yep, that's what people are offended for right there, guys. That is what has upset people to this point. Now, to any normal human being, you look at those napkins, right, and you're like, well, number one, the sole purpose of the napkin is to be there to clean something in the emergency that you need to clean something. If you need to blow your nose, you use the napkin. If you spill a little bit of your drink on you, you use the napkin. That is why the napkin is there, okay? But it's not just for that, okay? It's actually something you can use to communicate. Hot chick on your plane, hot dude on your plane, why don't you go give them your name and number, write it down on the napkin, which doesn't make much sense. Most people have their smartphones on them anyway, and you can just put them in their contacts and whatnot, but it's an old school approach. It makes people actually go out and interact with one another. It makes people go out and actually have to speak to another person, but apparently it's creepy. Okay, it's creepy, which I don't understand. How is this creepy? Because some freaky guy might give you his number that you don't find attractive, okay? That makes him creepy. As if you can't just say, no thank you, I don't want your number. No thank you, I don't want to talk to you. And that's literally the end of the situation right there. So what we do, you know, we're offended over this. Let's go into the mind of the perpetually offended. Well, I'm not going to use this napkin for its intended purpose to clean up a mess, and, I've been checking Twitter, and I haven't seen anything that I can cry about today, and I haven't felt upset, so I can't let the whole world know that I exist by crying about something, so, wait a minute. Oh my god. You just talked to me, and you gave me your phone number? Could I throw it away? Can I throw the phone number away instead of, you know, making a scene or being offended? That way I don't have to deal with the situation anymore, just properly dispose of it. Can I just say, no thank you, I don't want your number to the person? Possibly creating an awkward situation, but at the same time being even more effective, possibly. What do I do here? Do I act like a normal human being, or do I get upset and do I force two companies to apologize over a lighthearted napkin that nobody else in the world has a problem with? Well, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do today. I am completely convinced that there is no way that people can actually be upset about these napkins. I mean, you saw them. You can let me know down below. Are these something that would offend you? Because if so, I just need to know, how are you breathing right now? How are you alive? If your feelings are so easily hurt, if you're so offended, how did you make it through however long you've been alive? It baffles me that people actually can be so perpetually offended, okay? I don't understand it. I mean, there's some people who are so professional at being offended and being victims that they actually can turn napkins into something bad. How can you get that bad? How can you be that offended and upset? I need to know, parents, which one of you are out here raising these soft-ass kids? I mean, god damn, man. Jesus. We've been through, it seems like every year it just gets worse. Every year this whole political correctness crap, I'm offended, I'm upset, is just getting worse and worse. We went from being offended at things that actually mattered, okay? We went from being offended to things that actually had a real-world impact. You are not forced to write anything on the napkin. You are not forced to accept anyone else's napkin. You can literally sit down on the airplane, okay? Put your headphones in, ride it out, and never speak to another human being. That is entirely and 100% possible, but man, you couldn't get offended over that. I don't know, maybe you can. Maybe in 2024 people will be offended by that. The biggest problem of all out of this whole situation, like when you look at it, the whole thing, okay? To a normal person, this isn't something that would ever offend you. It wouldn't even remotely come close to upsetting you because you're not a child, okay? However, there are people who are like that, okay? And they are very much the majority, right? I mean, the majority of people get offended over things like this. Oh, wait, that's wrong. Like 17 people got offended by this on Twitter and literally got Coca-Cola, one of the biggest companies that has ever existed, to apologize to them. That is one of the biggest problems with the world right now, is that anyone can get upset over anything and everyone else has to apologize to them. You can get on an airplane and get upset over some goddamn napkins and what's on the napkin because they actually tried to promote people talking to one another face to face. They tried to promote people acting like normal human beings, like social creatures. Okay, you can get upset over that because, oh my god, a guy I don't find attractive might give me his phone number. That's something that can just tear you apart on the inside, and then Coca-Cola has to apologize to you, and they've got to take the napkins out of the airplanes for you. But the thing is that they don't have to. They choose to do this, and I don't understand why, because if these 17 people made it out into the news like Coca-Cola refuses to apologize to people over fucking napkins on an airplane, these people would be ridiculed. The 99% of people would just completely laugh in their faces. Do you think anyone's gonna stop drinking Coca-Cola because some fucking idiot got upset on an airplane over a napkin? Do you really think that? There's like 2 countries on Earth where Coca-Cola is not sold. That's North Korea, and I think it's either Cuba or Iran, okay? Coca-Cola is one of the most widely known words, brands, etc. on the planet. But do you really think this is going to affect your business? Do you think that 99.9% of people give a shit about what's on an airplane napkin on a Delta airline? But do you think that that would be something that really just kills your business? Like people are going to mass boycott Coca-Cola because of this? I would almost bet you Coca-Cola's entire 2019 profit margin that wouldn't happen. This isn't something severe enough to stop business up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's ridiculous that we even have to apologize to these people. These situations are getting more and more ridiculous, and the groups who get offended are more and more fringe, and they're getting smaller and smaller. And it's like, why do millions of people who don't care have to apologize to you over a napkin? Why are we apologizing to these people? I mean, if there's a legitimate reason, of course, I get that. But this is not a legitimate reason for anyone to ever have been upset. So why even apologize to them? As a matter of fact, more or less, they should just be publicly ridiculed if they get offended over something like this by these companies. Coca-Cola should have came out and said, stop being such pussies, you little babies. Drink a Coke and shut your mouths. That would have been dope. That would have been pretty cool. I would have went and bought a 24-pack of Coke. Keep in mind, I don't drink soda. I'd have went and bought a 24-pack just because they did it. I'll be really honest with you. Why do we have to apologize to these people? When did society accept that, you know, 1% of 1%'s opinion of the whole population, their opinion matters more than literally everybody else's? And at the rate it's going, it's just going to keep getting worse. And it's going to be more and more just stupid situations, okay? And you're just going to see different companies have to deal with things like this. Next thing you know, people are going to be just completely lambasting Pop-Tarts on Twitter because one of the sprinkles is a shade of red that they don't like. And then Pop-Tarts is going to have to just issue an official apology. We're sorry that it's not the right red color for this person. We realize our mistake and this will be fixed. You know, like, when is this gonna stop? We're raising generations of just weak-minded pussies who can't accept that things are different and that their opinion just isn't that important. You know, my opinion's not that important either. But you don't see me out here bitching about some Coca-Cola napkins that encourage you to go talk to somebody. I think we need to label perpetual offendedness as a legitimate disorder, okay? It needs to be a legitimate mental disorder where people are perpetually offended by everything. Because I can't imagine getting on a plane and having my whole day ruined because I looked at a napkin and it had a place for you to fill a phone number out. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I'm a millennial. But my parents didn't raise me to be so offended over literally anything and everything. I mean, am I the only one? Is there anyone else out there? Am I the lone survivor? I mean, some of you should just be really thankful that you were born in the time you were, because even if you were born like 50 years ago, life would have been horrible for you. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing down below. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like as always. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel. Follow me over on Twitter at SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. It's just a surefire way, really, to make sure you see updates on all my newest content. I know YouTube's kind of broken. The notifications don't always work, things like that, so follow me on Twitter. Hey, that fixes the whole problem. Join the Discord down below. Lots of great things going on there, and it also has live notifications. Thank you to my channel members for your $5 a month. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, getting offended over a napkin, man. God damn it, those napkins. Coca-Cola, I want my apology. And signing out.